The rain poured endlessly that October evening when Margaret Turner, a 52-year-old widow, stared at the room for rent sign taped crookedly to her window. The small suburban house felt emptier than ever since her son had left for another state and her husband passed away 2 years earlier. She wasn't looking for money, she just wanted company. That's when the knock came. A young man stood at her porch, soaked to the bone, clutching a torn backpack. His voice trembled. "Ma'am, I saw your sign. I'm sorry, I don't have much money right now, but I really need a place to stay. I'm a college student, engineering major. My name's Ethan." Margaret hesitated. Something about his eyes, tired, but full of determination, reminded her of her own son. Against her better judgment, she nodded. "Come in. You can stay until you get back on your feet." Over the next few weeks, Margaret learned that Ethan was juggling 2 part-time jobs and full-time classes. He often skipped meals to save money. Late at night, she'd find him studying under the dim kitchen light, whispering formulas to himself while his stomach growled quietly. One night, she left a plate of food on the counter and a note. "Eat first. Equations later." He smiled when he saw it, and the next morning, she found a small paper flower folded from his notebook page on her table. Days turned into months. Ethan started fixing things around the house, the leaky faucet, the flickering porch light, even her old computer. Margaret noticed how his presence had brought warmth back into her life. The laughter at breakfast, the sound of footsteps on the stairs, it was like having family again. But one evening, she overheard a phone call that stopped her heart. Ethan was speaking in a hushed voice. "I can't afford next semester. I'll just drop out for now. I'll figure something out later." Margaret sat quietly in her room that night, staring at the photo of her late husband. A teacher who had always believed education could change a person's fate. The next morning, she handed Ethan an envelope. "What's this?" he asked. "Consider it a loan," she smiled softly. "Finish what you started." He tried to refuse, but she insisted. "Don't let pride steal your future." Years passed. Ethan graduated with honors and moved away for work. He called every holiday, sent letters, and once even mailed her a ticket to his graduation, but Margaret declined, saying, "You've made me proud enough from here." Then one winter morning, a black car stopped in front of her house. Margaret, now grayer and slower, opened the door to find Ethan older, confident, and wearing a suit. "I had to see you," he said, his eyes shining. "I have something for you." He handed her a sealed envelope. Inside was a letter and a deed. "I bought this house back for you," Ethan said. "I heard the bank was taking it. You gave me a home when I had nothing. It's my turn." Tears filled her eyes. "Oh, Ethan, you didn't have to." "I did," he interrupted gently. "Because you didn't just give me a room, you gave me hope." That evening, as they sat together on the porch, the rain began to fall again, softly this time, like an old friend returning. Margaret looked at Ethan and whispered, "You've changed my life too, you know." He smiled. "Funny. I was just thinking the same thing." Message. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness, a meal, a roof, a listening heart, plants a seed that grows into something far greater. You never know whose life you're changing, or how they might one day change yours.